how do you spot talent? We've spotted talent from all over the world in every shape and form. What do you look for in a fighter?
If I say that, I will lose my job. I cannot. This is a secret. But I did find Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, he go to Bob Aron. He said, "Well, I need a Filipino, small Filipino." He went at that time to Dan King. And he went to the third one. He was, I believe it was Cedric Krusner from South Africa. And nobody wanted. So I used to work as a matchmaker in that time with Murad Muhammad. Matchmaker, but I did everything in the office. I mean, I wore my ass in that time with them. I'm very happy. I passed 2-3 years with them working, and I learned so much from him. For me, Murad Muhammad, he was my teacher. And when a lawyer from San Francisco, he called me up because he spoke first with Murad. Murad, yeah, a Filipino. Okay, thank you. I call you back. So he called me up because already started to get my reputation. And he called me up. He said, have this Filipino, he'd be a world champion. I said, okay, let me see. Send me a video. And that time he used the VHS, remember? He sent me a VHS, and he was fighting, and the guy fell out. I said, what's going on? I put it in slow motion, and I see that left hook. I say, this is the one. So now he was number 7 in the IBF, and the rating in 122 pounds, and which is junior super bantamweight or junior featherweight. I said, Murad, there's something special. He said, why? I went and I learned a lot about Philippines. It's no way beside Muay Thai, it's boxing. It's no football, it's no baseball, it's no basketball, it's nothing. So you must have somebody, but every time that we bring a Filipino, we bring it a week before. This guy is in America for 1 month. So we're fighting, which I bring to Morato Castillejo, that he fought Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar de la Hoya, he didn't have his company yet. So I said, you know what? Let's put it 8 rounds and see what happens. So this is what we did. A friend of mine, he called me up and said, the opponent of Luwawa, he got hurt. So I said, okay, please don't say to nobody. I went to the IBF, and that time it was Mariam Muhammad, the president. I said, you need to go through the list to be a mandatory. In that time, it was not the technology that we have now in 2000. So I sent a fax to one. I sent a fax to number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Nobody. In 2 weeks, he was available. So I got the mandatory. And when we went to the fight, everybody had like 8-1. And in the press conference, I say that he will knock him out in 6. And everybody look at me. Rudy Vela was the promoter. He said, I never put a fight so bad, because a small Filipino fight with this great champion, Luwawa, but it's the last moment replacement. And he was fighting in Mexican southpaw, which it was exactly the same. Then after I talked, people started to know me. It come the Filipinos to see him, and the money changed. And the casino, MGM, stopped. He didn't sell no more, because from 8 it went to 3 or 4-1, and it continued coming Filipinos to back him up. And in the 61 by KO. So then I changed my life with that. Then Golden Boy, I started to work with Golden Boy as a matchmaker and advisor. I can say publicly that I help a lot Richie Schaefer. I remember we sit in Spain and we stay hours. I explain the business because he was a banker. And today, he's a great promoter. So I believe that I give it some. Then I split because Manny Pacquiao, he was, and he is a very intelligent person. He saw what's going on, and he told me, I want you to work with me. But something I'm missing that it'd be good for England to know. I did, as a matchmaker, I did all the medicals for him. So I took him to have a blood taken out. At that time, it was HIV, and it was not hepatitis, HIV and something else to pass. And not like now, you have too many tests. So I went and said, no, I don't want to take blood. If you don't take blood, you're not finding money. So he said, no. Don't worry, I'll be next to you. When they put the needles, he faint. Manny faint. I called Murad, this guy faint. I told you he's a Filipino. and I told him, it happens sometimes that people doesn't like. And I say that Manny Pacquiao, most of the time, he didn't want to take a test, not because he's afraid that he find out something in the blood. He's panic every time somebody take blood from him. So anyway, I take him back to the hotel, and the next day we have this 2 days after the weigh-in and the fight, and that is the story of Manny Pacquiao. And then I continue working with Golden Boy for several years. I bring Walter Matisse. I bring the brother of Matisse that come as Lucas Matisse, that Jorge Barrios versus Freitas, that it was the fight of the decade. I mean, so then, you get people to respect you. Besides Maravilla Martinez, David Benavides, Michelle Rivera, Fundora, Sebastian Fundora. I mean, in a good time that already getting, mature, that is Javier Fortuna, Jason Rosario, that the win fight, they're supposed to lose fights. So I got the respect of the industry, put it that way.
Actually, you knew Manny Pacquiao would be a world champion. Did you ever imagine that he could go as far as he did, win a world title like middleweight?
Yes.
Super bantam, really?
Definitely. From day one after that fight, I continued working, and I told him, Murad, let's put it again, against a Colombian, I forgot his name now, which was absolutely no money almost. But it was an opening for them, that it was the fight with Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. And it was in the undercard. And then he started to, I worked with them till they fought Barrera. And after that, I said, no more. Let me go by my own. Because why would I give all my knowledge to know how to pick the right fighter to others that they get wealthy and I get the salary? So my ambition it was to be promoted. But I stayed almost 10 years as a matchmaker. I didn't want to go as a promoter with the knowledge of everything. Like an example, Bob Aron, he have a major promotion company that he have a matchmaker, second matchmaker, and third matchmaker. In my company, I am the matchmaker. Because I still a promoter, but I know what I'm doing as a matchmaker. And I do great shows. Not only in America, worldwide. From Philippines, I did shows to Colombia, to Mexico. Mexico with Eddie Reynoso, mi amigo. in Guadalajara, in Uruguay, that I do in next week, Argentina, Spain. I mean, I this is my life.